Good morning, friends. Myself Maunisha from Karnal. Currently, I am pursuing my post graduation in Department of Biotechnology from Sri Krishna Devaraya University, Anantapur. And I would like to discuss about the topic the mechanism of DNA replication. So, before entering into our topic, I would like to discuss about the structure of DNA molecule. Do you recognize this molecule? This is the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. Inside the cell, you will find most commonly double-stranded DNA, in which two strands are intertwined to form double helix. The most common form of DNA double helix, which is what we will discuss here, it is also called as B form of DNA. So, it has not escaped our notice that the specific pairing we have postulated immediately suggests a possible copying mechanisms for the genetic material. DNA structure was proposed by Watson and Crick in 1953. They got a Nobel Prize for this. So, now let's move to a more simplified representation of DNA to discuss the details. We can unwind the double helix so that we can see the chemical structure inside. Each strand is a polynucleotide. Each strand is made up of a sequence of 4 chemical bases represented by the letters A, C, G and T. Adenine, cytosine, guanine and thymine. Two strands are complementary. This means wherever there is a T in one strand and there will be a in the opposite strand, and wherever is C there will be as G and in other strand. Each strand has 5' end and 3' end. The two strands are runs in opposite directions. This determines how each strand of DNA is replicated, and DNA replication will be in three possible models. What are they means? They are semi-conservative, conservative and dispersive. In semi-conservative model, the two parental strands separate and each makes a copy of itself. After one round of replication, the two daughter cells each comprises and one old strand and one new strand. Note that after two rounds, two of the DNA molecules consist only one of new material while the other consisting of only a new material and old material. In the conservative model, the parental molecules direct synthesis of an entirely new double-stranded molecules such that after one round of replication, one molecule is conserved as two old strands. This is repeated in second round. Whereas in the dispersive model, material in two parental strands is distributed more or less randomly between two daughter molecules in the model shown. Old material is distributed symmetrically between the two daughter molecules. Other distributions are possible. So, DNA replication. In DNA replication, the first step is to separate the two strands. Each parent strand remains intact. This unzipping is done by an enzyme called helicases. Every DNA molecule is half old and half new. The separated strands each provide a template for creating a new strand of DNA. So, here we are having some basic rules for the replication. So, those are A is the semi-conservative and B is the starts at the origin and C is the synthesis always in the 5' to 3' direction. D is can be uni or bidirectional, uni-bidirectional, and E is the semi-discontinuous, and F is the RNA primers required. So next we are using some enzymes for the synthesis of new DNA strands. So those enzymes are RNA polymerases, DNA polymerases, primase, helicase and topoisomerases. So these core proteins which are involved in the replication fork. So what are those replication fork enzymes or topoisomerases which can prevent torsions by DNA breaks, helicases which can separate the two strands of DNA, primase which will do RNA primer synthesis, and single strand binding proteins prevent re-annealing of single strands. DNA polymerases synthesizes of new strand, and next tethering proteins stabilizes the polymerases, and DNA ligases which can seal nick via phosphodiester linkages. So now the mechanism of DNA replication. So Arthur Kohrenberg, a Nobel Prize winner and other biochemists, deduced steps for the replication. So what are the replication steps? Here is initiation, elongation and termination. In initiation, proteins binds to DNA and open up double helix, prepare DNA for complementary base pairing. And in elongation, proteins connect the correct sequence of nucleotides into a continuous new strand of DNA. And in termination, here proteins release the replication complex. And now an enzyme called, this is the replication of DNA diagram. Here an enzyme called DNA polymerase binds to the primer and will make the new strand of DNA. DNA polymerases can only add DNA bases in one direction from the 5' end to the 3' end. One of the new strand of DNA, the leading strand, is made continuously. The DNA polymerase is adding bases one by one in the 5' to 3' direction. The other strand is the lagging strand, cannot be made in this continuous way because it runs in the opposite direction. The DNA polymerases can therefore only make this strand in a series of small chunks called Okazaki fragments. Each fragment is started with the RNA primer, and DNA polymerase then adds a short row of DNA bases in the 5' to the 3' direction. The next primer is then added further down the lagging strand. Another Okazaki fragment is then made. The process is repeated again, and once the new DNA has been made, the enzyme exonucleases removes all the RNA primers from both the strands of DNA. Another DNA polymerase enzyme then fills in the gaps that are left behind with DNA. Finally, the enzyme DNA ligases seals upon the fragments of DNA in both strands to form a continuous double-stranded DNA. So, the DNA replication is described as semi-conservative because each DNA molecule is made up of one old strand conserved strand of DNA and one new one. So we will consider it as a semi-conservative model. So what are the steps involved in DNA replication in prokaryotes? In E. coli. In prokaryotes, the DNA is circular. Replication starts at a single origin, ORIC, and it is a bidirectional and semi-conservative. The region of replicating DNA associated with the single origin is called a replication bubble or replication eye, and it consisting of two replication forks moving in an opposite direction around the DNA circle. So during DNA replication, two parental strands separates and each acts as a template to direct the enzyme catalyzed synthesis of a new complementary daughter strand following the base pairing rules. And three basic steps which are involved in the DNA replication are initiation, elongation, and termination. So, in the first step, initiation, first step, binding of DNA around an initiator protein complex DNA A, ATP 30 to 40, and the DNA B or helicases unwinds ORC, an origin of replication, and extends the single standard region for copying. And in step 2, single strand binding protein binds to the single standard region to protect it from breakage and to prevent it from renaturing. As the parental DNA is unwound by DNA, helicases and single stranded binding proteins travels in 5' to 3' direction. It can result positive supercoiling is relieved by topoisomerases 1 and 2 DNA gyrases with the help of DNA gyrases by inducing transient single stranded breaks. And in the step 3, the enzyme DNA primases, that means the primase and RNA polymerases, then attaches to the DNA and synthesis a short RNA primer to initiate synthesis of the leading strand of the first replication fork. And next, in step 2, that means in elongation, in step 4, DNA polymerase 3 extends the RNA primer made by primases. DNA polymerases possesses a separate catalytic sites for polymerization and degradation of nucleic acid strands. All DNA polymerases make DNA in 5' to 3' directions. And leading strand synthesis. How the leading strand will be synthesis means on the template strand with 3' to 5' orientation, new DNA is made continuously in 5' to 3' direction towards the replication fork. The new strand that is continuously synthesized in 5' to 3' direction is the leading strand. So lagging strand synthesis means on the template strand with 5' to 3' orientation, multiple primers are synthesized at specific sites by primase. And DNA polymerase 3 synthesizes short pieces of new DNA. About 1000 nucleotides long new DNA is in 5' to 3' directions. These small DNA fragments that are discontinuously synthesized are called Okazaki fragments, named after that discoverer Reizi Okazaki. And the new strand, which is discontinuously synthesized in small fragments, is called as a lagging strand. So now DNA polymerase 3 synthesizes DNA for both leading and lagging strands. In the step 5, after DNA synthesis by DNA polymerase 3, DNA polymerase 1 uses its 5' to 3' direction with the using of exonucleases activity to remove the RNA primer and fills the gaps with new DNA. And finally, in the sixth step, DNA ligases joins the ends of the DNA fragments together. And in the last, that is termination, in this termination, in step 7, the two replication forks meets 180 degrees opposite to ODC as DNA is circular in prokaryotes. Around this region, there are several terminator sites which arrest and movement of forks by binding to the thus gene product as an inhibitor of helicase. That means the DNA bDNA. And in the step 8, one replication is complete. The two double stranded circular DNA molecules, that means the daughter cells, are remain interlinked. Topoisomerases to makes double stranded cut to link these molecules. And here, why is RNA primer necessary for DNA replication means the RNA primer is necessary for the activity of DNA ligase, and the RNA primer creates the 5' 3' ends of the strands, and the DNA polymerases can only add nucleotides the RNA molecules. So RNA primers can only add nucleotides to an existing strand. And this is the uh, diagrammatic figure of DNA replication, mechanism of DNA replication. So thanks to one and all. A special thanks to our Murli sir from the Department of Biotechnology, Sri Krishna Deva Raya University, Anantapur, for encouraging us in making videos and uploading them in YouTube. Thank you.